Good afternoon. This is Alfa Bravo Club. I am Alexander Baranenko. Today I will tell you about cleaning weapons. I will tell you how to clean your weapon so that it serves you for a long time and does not make unpleasant surprises. So look, we will disassemble everything in detail. The first thing we must do before cleaning weapons is to check it for live ammunition. We disconnect the magazine, the bolt, we move the bolt, open and close it a couple of times, perform a dry fire, and open it again. Next, we will set up a convenient position so that we can comfortably clean standing. After all, there are not always tables, and many shooters have tripods. And they can be used to clean weapons. It is convenient and takes up little space. We install weapons on our arca rail, clamp, rotate to the barrel position. Next, we can disassemble the weapon with you. In order to clean. I have a weapon of the Barrett Emirati American production, and this weapon that will allow us to hit 308 caliber at a distance of up to 1,000 meters. To keep our hands during cleaning, so that we do not damage the skin, we use gloves. Chemistry is aggressive in itself, and not as aggressive as it was 15 to 20 years ago, when chemistry was made on the basis of ammonia. Yes, we have a shot. We use Dewey ramrod. It will differ from those that it has a spinning red handle. We need a patch holder. We twist it on a ramrod. And in order for us to clean effectively and we have no problems with the chamber, we need a guide that is inserted into the cartridge. What does it do? It turns out that we insert it into the chamber, and when we pass the ramrod through the barrel, we don't damage the bullet entrance. This way, we will also reduce the contamination of our firing stops and the chamber itself. We take patches. I've used patches from various manufacturers, but Bordichevsky, apparently one of the best that were in my life. We take a patch. We take brake fry oil. We lubricate the patch with it. Why do we do this? It's to clean everything, all the combustion products. And we remove the dirt. We need to do this several times to remove the abrasive material. So that later we can properly clean the fouling and then the copper. After we've made a few passes with the oil, we wipe it dry so that our oil doesn't interfere with the other chemicals from working. We've wiped it down. Today, for cleaning, I'm using a Ukrainian manufacturer, Kanoko. I used to use different manufacturers, including Bortec. But now, Ukrainian manufacturers have made significant progress, and this allows us to use the chemistry of the Ukrainian manufacturer, but with good characteristics. We take on a patch. The first passage we do with a patch, clean, mud patch, and we are going further so that we can use a bore brush with you. What do we need it for? We need a bore brush so that we can remove all the dirt that finds in the barrel with you. What is there everywhere? And we, at the expense of what we will. Bore brush move on the trunk. We will lift. Be sure to grease with chemistry. This chemistry is the step one. And you hear how bore brush is moving. So we do 10 to 15 aisles. And we leave chemistry. Be sure to be 5 to 7 minutes. After that, you have passed the ramrod in the barrel. Do not forget to wipe the ramrod itself. Because after every time it is contacted with chemistry in the barrel, it leaves dirt on it. Now you see what the ramrod is dirty. If we will not wipe it, then we will bring all this dirt with you to the barrel again. 5 minutes have passed. The chemical has done its job, and we can now remove it from the barrel using a patch. The first step is that it removes the carbon residue. Carbon you need to wipe more than 1 or 2 times. If you have removed the one that you left in the barrel, then you can once again lubricate carbon remover chemistry. The first step, and go again. It will be much better. We clean up, take one more time. With the help of carbon remover, we clean up carbon residue. Carbon is already clean. We have copper behind us. In order for us to remove copper with you, we need to use another chemistry. And one chemistry, we will not be able to completely remove both deposits and copper. Universal means are, but they do not completely clean us the barrel. We need to take the chemistry of another with you. Application to other tasks. We take copper remover with you. Copper remover is what we will clean copper. The process is the same. We take a patch, apply chemistry to the patch. We clean. This is all. We put the bore brush. Apply chemistry to the bore brush. This is literally 5 to 6 drops. There is not a lot to do. Insert.
І
And we clean 10 to 15 aisles. After the bore brush, be sure to wipe the ramrod itself and leave for 5 to 7 minutes so that our chemistry is working we left in the barrel. While our chemicals work, what can we do with you next? We have 3 main parts in weapons that need to be cleaned. The first part is the barrel. Its full length, the chamber, the bullet entrance, and the bullet exit from the muzzle brake. This is where you will need to clean, and this is where you will need to clean. The second part is our bolt. This is what closes its firing stops and the mirror of the bolt. And the third part is our firing mechanism. It should also be clean, and we must ensure that there is no dirt or lubricant here. While the chemistry is working, we can clean our bolt. We take the chemistry and clean the mirror of the bolt. Right here, we completely clean so that we do not have any dirt here. Nothing. When cleaned, wipe with a dry patch. Thereafter, we take a patch, apply oil to it. We wipe the bolt completely with oil, its parts, all the firing stops, the mirror of the bolt, to ensure there is no dirt, and we wipe it all with a patch. Why? To ensure the oil lies only at the molecular level as a film, and neither dust nor dirt was attracted to our cells, and did not prevent us from shooting. Be sure to see that there are no drops of oil nowhere to clean it normally. We have a shutter, and there are such guides on which a bolt shutter is moving. They also need to be cleaned inside in order for us. Everything was clean. We clean up. We continue to clean our barrel. Our chemistry has already collected copper, and we clean up to a clean patch. Once we have gone, we can once again pass so that all the dirt is removed. If you have some stains on the patch, then you may need to wipe the cartridge. And maybe you have a muzzle brake compensator, since I have it is not removed. This will need to be cleaned. Therefore, we are now a dry patch. If you are not sure that you have cleaned, then make another pass with bore brush. And with it, you perform another procedure to further break down the copper and completely remove it. I emphasize that it's not always necessary to clean it this way. The barrel should be perfectly clean, because this will affect whether you will have a cold shot or not. You have probably seen that when they clean the barrel with paste, if it's not properly cleaned, there's no group. What do we do next? We take it, pull it out directly, and just like that, We wipe it so that it is clean. We place it. And next, we need to clean our chamber. To clean our chamber, we need to put it here. Either there are brushes for the chamber, or we take a brush of a different caliber. I have a brush for the 338 caliber. We place it on and put a patch on top. So we can wipe what's happening inside here. We don't go too far and rotate the cleaning rod to completely clean the chamber. Do you see the dirt? This is all in our chamber. Next, we finish cleaning in the same way. We need to finish cleaning the bullet exit and the firing mechanism. We will now change the place where we will do all this. And in the second place, we will finish cleaning the remaining parts. We are getting ready. To clean the chamber, I use a brush of a larger caliber. We have a 338 one. That's what we use. What do? We take a cleaner for carbon fouling, copper remover, carbon remover, and apply it to our patch. We twist it in such a way that it enters your chamber and scroll. Wipe inside the chamber itself. Then we pull it out. We need another patch. Repeat the same procedure. It's already clean. Next, we can take a dry patch. After the dry patch, we use oil and then remove the oil as well. We take our brake-free oil, apply it lightly. We just need to lubricate and leave a thin film of oil. We lubricated the chamber. And now we need to wipe it dry. But don't forget one more thing. We need to wipe the cleaning rod as well. Now use a dry patch to make sure no excess oil is left. We've cleaned the chamber. Now we'll clean the bullet outlet. And after that, we can clean the barrel, go through it. When we've cleaned both the chamber and the bullet outlet with you, we check that there's nothing left, so that it's perfectly clean. What can we do with you regarding the bullet outlet? At the bullet outlet, we will have fouling accumulating from our muzzle brake, which we do not remove. Why don't we remove it? Because the Barrett has a specific feature. A suppressor is screwed onto it. This nut is removed and the suppressor is screwed on here. It is adjusted with metal shims. Once you have tightened it once, then, if you remove it, it will no longer fit in this place and you will have to insert metal spacers. Therefore, I do not recommend removing it. Clean it. We take an ear swab and lubricate the entire bullet outlet there. So it accumulates there, and yours will be black, almost black. We need to soften the carbon fouling so that later we can remove it from there. At the same time, we lubricate the muzzle brake compensator so that the carbon fouling softens. Ear swabs alone will not be able to completely clean it because carbon fouling accumulates here. It just needs to be removed from here and softened. We will clean it with patches. There's another feature here. Fouling at the bullet outlet can interfere with proper gas operation when the bullet exits the barrel. This will affect your accuracy. That's the first thing. Second, if you use something sharp or metal to go in there and tap or scrape, impacting the metal while cleaning could lead to dents or chips, and that will also affect your accuracy. So, be careful with the bullet outlet, and try not to use anything sharp or metal in there. The bullet outlet always collects the most dirt, and the muzzle brake collects fouling as well. If you have a suppressor installed, expect that. You'll have even more fouling here because the suppressor pushes a lot of fouling back. Each time, our patch will come out cleaner and cleaner. Now we take a dry cloth, dry it off, and remove everything from here. It's all clean. What do we need to do next? Since we cleaned the chamber and then the bullet outlet, something might have been left behind from the barrel channel. Perhaps we pushed something in, either from one side or the other. We may have pushed it into the barrel channel itself. For this, we need to take a patch holder and a patch, and just walk through to remove everything from there. If you have a guide rail, don't forget to sharpen it. We didn't have anything superfluous here. Everything is clean. We cleaned the barrel. We still have to clean the combat stops. They are in front of the chamber. In order for us to clean them with you, you need to climb in there with a brush. Try to remove any dirt that may be there. And then, it is advisable to remove the dirt with a chemical on a patch. Not just one patch. Take a few more of them. Try cleaning them. What will this affect you? If dirt gets between the combat stops of the bolt and the barrel itself, then your mirror gap may theoretically change. It may not even close. It may not even close the bolt normally. This will lead to a change in pressure when fired. There may be various consequences. So, this needs to be monitored. We cleaned it. After the chemical, you have to go in with a dry patch. Not that it took away the remains of our chemical, which may be there. Not that we removed all the moisture from the chemical itself. We cleaned the shutter. We also cleaned the guides for the shutter, so that the shutter moved normally in it. And we have the last stage left. This is the trigger mechanism. It is cleaned in a barrette very simply, very cool. Due to the fuse, removing it, the trigger mechanism is pulled out by itself. This is probably one of the most convenient designs I've seen in my life for cleaning the trigger mechanism itself. The guide rail, when used on other firearm models, is exactly what protects your trigger mechanism, preventing oil or dirt from getting in there, and so that your trigger mechanism doesn't pick up anything. For it to work properly, it must be dry. Then it will operate as it's programmed to. Sometimes it's lubricated with dry lubes or with masks, and for that, there are such windows. That's where it gets lubricated. We clean everything. It's essential to make sure everything is dry. In no case should you flood it so that dirt gets inside. We need to make sure it is clean. We check its operation. Next, we can clean the place where the magazine well is inserted. Where the magazine is inserted. Clean it and clean the seating area for the trigger mechanism itself. We put the trigger mechanism back in place. And here we are done with this step. We assemble our weapon in reverse order. We place the guide rod. Be sure to check that there is a guide groove and it must fit into it. This is to ensure that it does not move. For the bolt, we can insert this bolt. So, we've inserted it. We close and connect the upper with the lower. Our weapon is ready for use. We have it cleaned, polished, and all the necessary parts are cleaned. If we need to clean the outside, then with patches or napkins, we clean the outside of the weapon as much as possible in those places where we need it to be clean. At the moment, this weapon is not dirty. The weapon is ready. In all, it takes somewhere from 30 minutes to time. It will all depend on the barrel itself, what material it will be made of from the firing of the weapon, and will depend on what cleaning products you will use. This is also very important so that they help you clean the weapon faster. All done, our weapon is ready. We close the bolt, put the empty magazine back, and set up the shooting rests. We can also put it into our case.